and I just recorded for a minute, and there was no card in my camera, and I couldn't figure out why it wasn't working. And then I opened it up and realized the card was still in the computer. Yeah, okay, it's 1 o'clock in the morning, July 25th, 1:18 a.m. EDT. We're looking at my blog here, Idea Girls Severe Storm Predictions, and we've been talking about the Venus retrograde affecting Earth's weather and generating storms and hurricanes. So this is 2013's data. A prediction came true today. I found out there's 3 hurricanes forming. There's a TD6e which would be Flossie in the Pacific Ocean, and then Tropical Storm Dorian, which was a tropical depression. And now Invest 99L has shown up as well, and that would be Tropical Storm Erin. All of them started within 1 to 2 days from Venus's retrograde date on July 22nd. So that proves that theory this month. And just so you know, every single Venus retrograde so far that has gone on since the hurricane season began, the hurricanes do form as an invest. They don't always form a hurricane because of the high pressure in the winds and stuff, but they do form an invest each time Venus retrogrades. And then based on the conditions, we'll see if all 3 of these become hurricanes. Now we do have coronal HOle solar winds hitting the Earth between the 26th and 28th. So that's the next 3 days. So yes, I think all 3 of these guys are going to get going. It's my prediction. This one here is showing these geomagnetic storm cells, which have created a chain, and they're also in circles. And when they're in a circle pattern, that usually creates a hurricane. And what I call is these little geometric shapes. So we've got a rectangle, another rectangle, and we've got perfect little circles. Normally when they appear close to these high wind cells, these also generate stronger storms. For some reason I call them alien dark matter particles, and they don't always appear in the radar, and they usually appear if there's a comet or an asteroid close to Earth. And we did have an asteroid pass close by on the 17th, and again around the same time that these invests formed, these asteroids seem to pass close to Earth, which is another odd thing which I haven't studied yet, but just thought you should know. This shows 4 high wind brain hurricane cells are heading into the northeast Gulf of Mexico. So possible tropical storm Fernand is going to develop in this area here, simply because we've got a temperature drop in the water. Whenever the temperature drops 4 degrees, it shows that there's a hurricane or hurricane cell forming. Now we have down here, over here, here. So there's several areas that it could form. But usually where it starts dropping along that area, that's where it plans to hit. Okay? Within a week's time, you're going to have either remnants hitting these areas or the actual hurricanes themselves. And this is showing there's a circle pattern. If you look real close in this is from ocean weather. There is a circle pattern in the waves, counterclockwise. That also shows that there are hurricane cells sitting in the water waiting to be activated. So if we have our temperature change happening up here, we've got geocells moving down into the Gulf of Mexico. I believe there's going to be another hurricane forming around here within the next couple of days. Plus 5 days after Venus retrograde, which is on July 22nd, it will be July 27th. You will definitely see some hurricanes forming. Based on my studies from 2012, there was always a hurricane forming 5 days after Venus retrograde. So you've got Dorian over here, we've got Erin forming here, and Erin's pretty big. Dorian's massive, going to be massive. So these cells that are currents are going all the way from Texas to Florida in a counterclockwise rotation right here. So one of these hurricanes are you going to either end up in the Gulf and hitting those areas, or the Fernand is going to develop in this area and it's going to become a very massive hurricane. And over here Flossie is developing. But you can see there's a lot of geocell activity that is heading this direction within the next 2 to 3 days. All these cells here, we're going to intermingle with whatever hurricane cells are sitting here. Now there is a high pressure, so when it's high pressure it doesn't seem to form. There is a difference this year though. I've got high pressures and low pressures sitting together. You got high pressures with, I don't have the data here right yet. So anyways, I'll show you in a few minutes. But this is what I call a geocell form circle patterns. And every time there's an invest that forms, these little circle patterns form in the radar. And there's another circle pattern. Whenever you can take the outer edge of the cells and connect it together like dots, and it forms a circle, then you know an invest or a hurricane is going to form. Okay, so that's my prediction for today.